Okay, Andre, I am excited because we can finally show you guys the all-new 2019 Ram Heavy Duty lineup.
Well, let's go over everything that's new. There's a new chassis, new engine, crazy new Cummins with 1,000 pound-feet of torque. Ooh. The new interior. There's also something that hasn't changed.
Some big things.
And there's two things that are missing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll dive into all that, and at the end of this video, I'm going to show you the all-new Power Wagon as well. So what are we waiting for? Let's go do it.
Okay, the Ram can tow 35,100 pounds, but I could push. I can push a lot of weight too. Any truck has to start with a strong backbone, and this is the case also with a new Ram Heavy Duty for 2019. They have completely redesigned the frame. It's now using 98.5% high-strength steel. It's fully boxed. They say it's stronger, it's stiffer, and it's also a little bit lighter, helping the truck lose about 143 pounds overall when you consider the body and the new chassis. But I need help explaining all the changes, so here's the chief engineer of Ram Heavy Duty. So how does the new Cummins high output differ from the outgoing one?
Well, to start out with, we started with the same basic architecture of the current 6.7, right? So we took all the dependability, all the reliability, and the capability and improved on it, right? As you know, 1,000 pound-feet of torque, right? That's impressive.
That's a round number.
It's a nice number.
It's been a barrier that no other manufacturer of pickup trucks have crossed.
Correct, and we've crossed it. To start out with, I mean, it's still a 6.7, it's still an i6. What we did is we basically, again, we took what was already strong and we made it stronger. For example, the conrods, right, we went from a high strength alloy to a higher strength alloy. The crankshaft, same thing. We also took opportunities to reduce weight. Now, typically capability and weight reduction don't always go together, but we did it. Probably the biggest factor of that was the compacted graphite iron block.
Yes, it has the same displacement, but new power ratings. 370 horsepower and 850 pound-feet of torque for the standard engine, and that's available in 2500 series trucks. Also, you can get it in a one-ton truck, but the big numbers are right here. This is the high output version. It's using a new pump and a new block and the new heads and a lot of other technologies to produce 400 horsepower and 1,000 pound-feet of torque. So Ram did not go for outright horsepower dominance, but they have it in the torque department.
The turbo is basically the same turbo that we had before, but we've got improvements for airflow, primarily on the compressor side, so we can just get more air in. The fuel system, which is around the other side of the engine, we went with a new high-pressure pump to allow increased fuel flow. And then all the way through the injector lines and the injectors as well is across the engine here. Those are new. For example, when I talked about weight reduction earlier, right, we've got the water adapter from the engine. Primarily, or in the past, it was cast iron. But it's not really a true structural part. So in the new engine, we were able to go to aluminum. Not making any sacrifices, but obviously, weight reduction is significant. The same thing with the water outlet. Again, not a structural part, but just taking the difference between cast iron and aluminum is weight reduction. Okay. Probably a key thing for anybody that's with Cummins or used to our traditional engine, we went to a hydraulic lash adjuster in the engine from the old solid roller. So there's a couple things and a couple benefits from that. One is it's quieter, and two is, typically at 100,000 miles there was an adjustment required for the rockers. With this, you no longer have to do that. So it reduces maintenance a little bit and overall makes it quieter. Overall, we reduced the weight by 60 pounds on the Cummins engine while increasing the capability.
I told you there were two things that are missing. Well, one of them is a 5.7 liter Hemi. That's now gone, no longer available in the new Ram heavy-duty trucks. The second thing that's missing is a manual transmission. It used to be available with a Cummins diesel, no longer there. There was just not enough trucks being sold with those configurations.
So with 1,000 pound-feet, right, the transmission had to be updated as well to be able to handle the additional input and provide the increased output. We also updated the transfer cases in the Eisen applications and the high output. As you can see, the joint there where the front drive shaft and the rear drive shaft, that actually got larger, yes. We went to more of a CV style joint with a slip-in spline. It just improves the overall connection and it's more robust. The transmission, we've modified the shift schedules, right, for better improvement, just to, and again, to make the overall driving experience better, right? When you're towing the loads that these trucks are rated, I mean, 35,100 pounds, that's a lot. To make that as easy on the driver as possible, right, the transmission it works with the engine, adapts to the terrain that you're driving, and just makes the overall experience very easygoing.
Of course, there are a lot of configurations, and on our website, tfltruck.com, we actually have a towing and payload chart. But if you're using a bumper pull trailer, some of the numbers are 20,000 pounds for a 3/4 ton with a class 5 hitch. For a dually 3,500, it's 23,000 pounds with a bumper pull. Those are big numbers, and those are now class leading numbers.
The green, for example, was for NVH, right? So we redesigned that cross member so that the natural frequency of that cross member helps dampen out the NVH. And again, so right, all the rumble and rattles that can be there with a big diesel, that helps dampen some of that out. Again, to make everything just quieter and easier and for the driver. The front radius arms, as you can see, those are colored blue, and you notice there's holes in them. The theory there is right, put the steel where you need the steel for the capability, while still reducing weight, and remove steel where you don't need the capability. You'll also notice as you go down the exhaust system here, you'll see the items the hangers that are colored green. Those were all redesigned again to make sure that the natural frequency of those brackets would help reduce exhaust drones in beaming of the exhaust system. As you get back into the suspension, this vehicle obviously is a 3500 air suspension. The spring is new for this year, although very similar to the current design that we utilize. But we've also made upgrades in strength and capability for the hitch assembly, for the gooseneck hitch across here.
3-inch ball.
But yeah, so we've got the 3-inch trailer hitch ball, obviously to carry all the loads. Mm-hmm. And then within that as well, right, at these 4 points, you can see these anchors on the frames. That's for the safety chain tie downs. Or in a fifth wheel application, the fifth wheel frame actually attaches to these 4 points.
The trucks are becoming so capable that the hitches need to improve as well. In this case, you can carry a 30,000 pound fifth wheel trailer because of that hitch construction. And Ram is class leading with this tow rating.
The whole brake system has been updated. Primarily the foundation brakes, all of the best practices in the industry we've adopted and we've put into the 19 truck. So the anchors, the calipers, all of that's new. With the rotor size in the front and the calipers in the 3500, we didn't change. We're still the twin piston calipers. We're still a 358 millimeter rotor, 360 up front. For the max tow, we did increase to a 365 millimeter rotor in the rear, just for the increased capability and braking for the max tow applications. No, fuel tanks are the same size as before, right? The 32 gallon and the 31 gallon.
New trucks get the new face. This is a Bighorn model right here, and this is actually one of my favorite trucks here, except for the Power Wagon. I like the monochromatic look with just a little bit of touch of chrome. But the big story is on the inside. Although the cab and the bed are carryover construction, still steel bed and cab, the interiors are all new. Let me show you all the trim levels.
At the heart of our 2500, 3500 trucks is our tradesman trim level. So this is all about work. A huge part about the heavy duty truck We have our all vinyl seats. We have optional cloth, but they're heavy duty vinyl. So it's about someone coming in, you know, you might have your gear on you, getting in your seat, making sure that it's not going to puncture through the seats are important. One-piece door panels also important in terms of just cleanability. You know, we see these trucks, they are dirty inside. So we want to make sure that there's really not too many nooks and crannies. Real simple, it's doing a job. And I think this hammer kind of speaks to it, you know, in terms of it's all about purpose, all about work.
Okay, so that's tradesman.
That's tradesman stepping up. We have our bighorn price class, probably the most expansive price class of the market. We sell a lot of these trucks. We have cloth interiors, most popular.
Yeah.
You know, you go to a dealership, you see a lot of these trucks. So we offer 4 interior color schemes to make sure that, again, there's some, kind of something there for everyone. All black interiors, gray like you see, and also this our frost and black interior.
Okay.
Next up is our Power Wagon. So it's a big one, right? And we wanted to make sure the interior spoke to it. So we picked actually tones that were real dark and deep, real black chromes. We got our sort of hex film we got up there. Hammers kind of really speak to it. This interior comes in both a cloth and vinyl combo, and then actually our all leather interior. And we actually bring in the 12-inch screen. We also bring in our 17 speaker, 700 watt Harman Kardon audio system. So you get a lot starting with our Power Wagon trim level.
So the Power Wagon, is that same theme as the Rebel, or is that a little bit unique? How does that differentiate?
More macho. There's definitely some uniqueness, more macho.
Okay.
Rebel had some of those anodized red cues.
Yes.
We decided to stick a little bit more in that tone-on-tone palette for our Power Wagon trim. Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Laramie. So Laramie is, I would say, it's our affordable luxury interior. So we have our doses of suede throughout the interior. You know, you can see some of the images, you know, in terms of hauling your horses, you know, out on the ranch, that type of stuff. A little bit of that feel comes into it. Not as much as our Longhorn, but sort of that affordable luxury. Some brighter chrome finishes, some of our wood trim throughout the interior.
Well, the sitting position is still very familiar. It's still kind of high. You still have power folding mirrors, but the power step is now new. Check this out. It runs the full length of the crew cab here. And this is the mega cab. You don't see very many of these trucks. Ram says they sell about 10 to 15% mix of the giant mega cab, but I just want to try this out. Oh, plenty of legroom. I'm about 6'2". Recline. Oh, good night. Next.
Longhorn. So this is really where luxury, I think, we're hitting the pinnacle of luxury. We got our full grain Natura Plus leather seats. So that's leather all the way around the seats. We have the most leather of any of the competition, as well as our most wood of any of the competition. I think that's just speaking to the authenticity, the quality level that we really want inside these pickup trucks. Probably one of my best favorite features that the team was able to do is this barn wood. It's this feel of the barn wood. You can actually feel the grain and the grit on there. On our glove box, we actually stamped the logo of the Longhorn logo. We actually brand it, which is the same as the half tone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And finally,
our limited trim. We think of this as our really our tuxedo truck. It's our city truck. Adorned, this one's in our black Natura Plus full leather interior. We also have our indigo and frost, which gives you that nice lighter combo. And I think all of our trims have that. You have the ability of going dark and light. We know the guys in the Smile States, you know, that you really want an interior that feels light. But then we also like these all black interiors.
trucks are getting smarter and more advanced every day to help the driver to tow heavy trailers and to haul heavy loads. And it's the case here as well. This new Ram offers adaptive cruise control, automated brake assist, and 360-degree cameras. And here's Jim Morrison, president of Ram North America, to show us some of his favorite features.
Well, we wanted to have a really nice signature for the truck. So you can see the signature in the lights. These are adaptive lights for the first time in a heavy-duty pickup truck as well. So they'll move up to 15 degrees as you're going around a corner. So it's great. The other thing I'll point out about lights as we're staring at them is these are the best lights in the marketplace today. Heavy-duty truck customers are always, working late, working hard. And you've seen a lot of trucks of old with auxiliary lights on the front of them because they want extra lights. We wanted to make sure that they had it handled. The added benefit of the adaptive lights really help you as you're going around corners at speed, so you won't overrun your headlights with this truck. We also wanted to make sure that the truck looked high quality, so you see some nice LEDs on the roof and in the mirror, and then of course the best, coolest look of this one is you got to come around the back and take a look at the LEDs on the dualies, because
two-tone, right?
it is.
RV match?
We call it RV match brown, and you think about it, this, a lot of the RVs today are brown, so this truck will look fantastic as a matching piece.
Well, dualies, you know what my kid calls dualies? Muscle trucks.
They are muscle trucks.
Because they look wide and big, right?
Everybody wants a dually.
Right.
They're the coolest truck we make.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
And does this radar system also have like trailer coverage? So for blind spot?
We have blind spot in the mirror when it's unloaded, but not when it's loaded.
Okay.
Because most of our heavy duty truck customers, their trucks the trailers are bigger than the back of the trailer. We've got an adaptive grid line here on the trailer bed lineup. So if you can imagine, some people sometimes they spray their bed, at the end of the box, or they put a rock on the end of the tailgate to try to help line up as they're backing up their fifth wheel, to hitch up their fifth wheel or their gooseneck trailer. Well, the Ram does it for you. You can see the line there. So what you can do is you can lower the bed, and it will drop the back of the bed of the truck, so you'll be right underneath either your gooseneck pin or your fifth wheel hitch, and you can back up with the grid lines and have the truck sneak right underneath, and then you let the truck raise back up again, and it will lift all the weight off of the trailer. So if you do it right, you don't even have to crank on your trailer. So what we've done here is we've got our surround view cameras that are in the mirrors, and you can adjust over so you can see, in the past where you couldn't see by your trailer. So you can, adjust the camera, take a look at the view, and see where your trailer's going. So
can you do some of this while moving?
You can.
For a few seconds?
You can, absolutely. We've got LED spotters on the mirrors, and that
blinding.
it really is. But here's the cool thing about it is they're designed to help back up. So when you're backing up the trailer, you can see the end of your trailer. You never know when you need a light, so you just take the light and you can shine it over there, and next thing you know, you've got full visibility at a right angle for your truck. And that's the most embarrassing thing you could possibly do, is show up at a horse show or at a job site with a bent dually fender, because that just means you weren't paying attention, you don't want to do it.
You went to Starbucks drive-thru.
Yeah, so what we've done here is we've actually got our sensor will protect the dually fenders. So, you're backing up and have a good, early warning, even if it's out here, you don't have to worry about taking out the...
So there'll be audible signals on the inside?
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, and it's good. We even have automatic braking if it really push comes to shove. We'll help you shut down the truck.
So now it's time to talk about the 2019 Ram Heavy Duty that's not just about towing trailers. And let me show you this right here. This is the brand new 12,000-pound Warn Xeon winch on the front of the new Power Wagon. Now, this thing now uses a synthetic cable, which is nice, and Ram also spent some time up here on the front. So you can see down here the winch access point for plugging in your controller. It's right up front, easy to get to. And then there's also new sensors here in the bumper. So Ram put a wrap system here, so you can take your rope, wrap it around like that, and it's not going to get in the way of your sensors. And overall, this new winch system saves the Power Wagon about 28 pounds, so it's going to work better and save weight. That's a win-win. So with the new Power Wagon, let's start off with what didn't change. So this truck still uses the same basic recipe: solid axles front and rear, a slight lift from the factory, 33-inch Goodyear Wrangler Duratrack tires, lockers in the front and rear, and disconnecting sway bars. Now, every single new Ram HD benefits from an all-new high-strength steel chassis, so that did lose the truck a little bit of weight. And then you have to talk about the powertrain. So it's the same engine, 6.4-liter V8 that makes 410 horsepower and 429 pound-feet of torque. But in the new Power Wagon, it's hooked to a ZF 8-speed automatic. This is the off-road truck in the lineup, but Ram has made sure that the new Power Wagon can tow and haul more now too. Payload is up about 100 pounds to a total of 1,660 when properly equipped, and towing is up 600 pounds to a total of 10,620 pounds. And finally, those of you looking for a no-frills Power Wagon, you can still get a Ram HD Tradesman with the Power Wagon package. So it's gonna look like a Tradesman inside and out, but you're gonna get all this great off-road gear, even that winch right there. So guys, that is basically everything we know about these new Ram HDs. Pricing is not yet available, and you can expect to see these trucks in dealerships in the second quarter of this year. Now, it is the eve of the Detroit Auto Show right now, so make sure you stay tuned to TFL Car, TFL Truck, and TFL Now for all of the action coming at you from the 2019 Detroit Auto Show.